I don't remember the last time I saw the Ten Commandments on the wall in a public school. Our children are young adults now, so this is not something that was a recent change. I think a lot of schools just removed them because they were tired of the backlash. But there's also been a change in the intervening years since we had the Ten Commandments on the wall in schools, and that is a lot of lawlessness in the classroom. Children who don't listen to teachers, they're disobedient, and not in small ways. I'm not talking about kids who just talk a lot or children who have trouble sitting still. We're talking about kids who are physically violent towards their teachers, teachers who've left the profession, taking decades of experience with them because they can't control kids in the classroom. Now, I always blame that on the home. If your child is in school and they can't listen to their teacher, that is a function of your poor parenting and being down on the job and sending out a responsible human being into the world to be educated so that they can contribute to our society. I can never have a higher level of condemnation for parents. It cannot be high enough. It has to continually increase that condemnation because a poorly raised child is a future criminal, and a future criminal is someone who destroys the universe of another individual by maiming or killing them or robbing them and leaving them with a sense of PSD and unsafeness because of poor parenting. So everything goes back to that. And in our quest to be good parents, we often will look for school environments that mirror the environment we're creating in the home, one of lawful obedience to authority. That is of the utmost importance because it not only keeps children out of jail, it keeps adult people away from situations where they might lose their life. So, for long life and health, the teaching of obedience is paramount. And so it's odd to me that people would complain about shootings in schools and violence and the need to have metal detectors at the doors, but not want the Ten Commandments on the wall of every classroom in that building because the civilizing effect of reading scripture works whether or not you're a Christian. You don't have to be a Christian to read Psalms and Proverbs and become wise and have an understanding of the way that the world works. So this is a very, very important development that a few states are undertaking, but the focus is Louisiana because Whoopi Goldberg over at The View noticed that they're doing something that I guess goes against what she personally believes, never mind the fact that she only had one child. That child is an adult and a parent to three children. And so she doesn't really have the same outlook. Obviously, her ideology is very different from most Americans. And so she was commenting on her program. And I want to talk about her reaction. But first, I'd like you to see it's someone on her same side of the political aisle. He's a Louisiana state senator. And of course, he brings up the usual slur that we have discussed and unpacked here on this program, which is Christian nationalist, which actually means nothing, right? It means nothing. Do you believe in America? Then you're a nationalist. Are you a believer that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and that he died on the cross and rose on the third day and took the keys from hell and destroyed the impact of death on anyone who believes in him and that he rose and went to the right hand of the Father? Were you baptized? Then you're a Christian. Christian nationalist means nothing. It's just a slur meant to make you feel bad about being a Christian. So this Louisiana state senator said that requiring the Ten Commandments in school is a part of a Christian nationalist agenda. Let's watch him be silly, and then I'll have more.
It's extreme, it's exclusionary, it undermines religious freedoms, it's unnecessary, and it's blatantly unconstitutional. This is not what we should be doing. And I want to say that as someone who is a Christian. I was raised Catholic. I learned the Ten Commandments, but the public classroom is just simply not somewhere we should be mandating the display of the Ten Commandments.
Royce, what I guess the question is, what happened to the separation of church and state? The governor calling this one of his favorite laws.
Well, this was clearly and is clearly part of an extreme right-wing Christian nationalist agenda, where it seems as though the governor and my colleagues who pushed this law did it with the intent to be sued and to challenge the right to put this kind of material in classrooms.
Okay. So this kind of material, extreme. Do you hear the way he's characterizing this? So I am the Lord your God. You shall not have other gods before me. You will not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. You will remember to keep the Lord's day. You will honor your father and mother. You will not kill anyone. You won't commit adultery. You won't steal. You won't bear false witness. No slandering. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, meaning if someone else has a cell phone and you don't, you will not covet it and eventually end up stealing it from them. And you will not covet your neighbor's goods. Same thing. So what's wrong with having that on the Well, God forbid that parents extend their influence from the home into the classroom and use that influence to impact schools for good, because people who understand the Ten Commandments and believe in it aren't likely to grow up to become Democrats and want to be Marxists and want to blame people for things that their quote unquote ancestors did. The reason why this is so dangerous to these leftists is because kids who know the Ten Commandments are far less likely to be questioning their gender, having suicidal ideation, and the intervention of Planned Parenthood and the government. He wants you stuck on them, and so you can't be stuck on the Ten Commandments. My word on this is that they are doing the right thing, and they should put these things back up and have kids read them. You don't have to be a Christian to read them. Just read them and understand them and let them inform you. That's the program for today. I'm so glad to be with you again for another fantastic week on Salem News Channel. God bless, and I'll see you on Monday.